So, how are you today? Ready to learn some more about body language and grooming? As you realize, yesterday we did grooming, and grooming is a part of body language. It is one small part of body language. Body language is a very vast thing. Now, what exactly do you mean by body language? Body language is the communication that our bodies make silently without us speaking. So, even when you are not speaking, your bodies are communicating. And how do they communicate? You have your facial expressions, you have your body posture, whether you are slouched or you're standing erect, whether you're confident or not, that smile on your face, all these are silent communications and it is known as body language. So we start with that today. So why is it important? Because it is not only just a form of communication, it is a visual form of communication, and because it is visual, it is very important. As you know, our brain can think only in images. The words or whatever we do, it gets translated into images. So our brain works in images, and that is why it is very important that a visual form of communication, say for example, if I say don't think of a pink elephant, what did you just do? You visualized a pink elephant, right? So that is what I'm saying. Okay, even though I said don't think, your brain to not think, you had to think. So the brain is visual and the body language is very important. Now, body language includes your posture, the way you deportment is the way you carry yourself. They communicate a great deal about your confidence, your self assurance, and these are the factors which really very important for your success. And body language can improve the effect of your spoken skills. So if you are saying I'm very confident but your body language is not very confident, the other person can make out. So your words are not very important, your body language is a lot more important than your words. So if your body language is negative, if it is not in sync with what you're speaking, it can actually take your attention away, the other person's attention away from what you're speaking. So it will have a wrong impact completely. Yeah. So what exactly do we mean by body language? What are the things? So apart from the facial expressions and all, I'll come into the details. Hand movement. When you're talking to somebody, keep your hand movement to a minimum. They distract you from your speech. So if somebody is talking like this too much, people tend to look at the hands, they get diverted. If you're talking with a stable body without moving too much, then the person focuses on what you're speaking, on your words, and the impact of what you're speaking is more. Don't cross your arms in front of you. If you cross your arms in front of you like this, it's a closed thing. If it is closed, means you are negative, you are not receiving, you are not open to the feedback the other person is saying. So this is a very negative way, especially if you're leaning backwards. Yeah. Don't hold your hands behind your back. That is like you are in a school or in a military school, obedience. So you can be, you know, it would appear to be very childlike or very obedient or somebody who's very subservient. Don't put your hands in your pocket. If you're hiding your hands, that again means that you are nervous, you're not very confident. So all these things people watch, and even if they don't watch consciously, unconsciously, people understand body language, and you will realize that. When you put your hands in front of your face when you are talking, it means that you are lying, you are not confident about what you are saying. So that is again something very important. You need to be very careful about what your hands are doing. Your hand movement is very important. Don't touch your nose, don't touch your ears. Again, touching of a nose or scratching of your nose, you will realize when you are not speaking the truth, when you're consciously saying some lies, you will feel like rubbing your nose or you will feel a itch on your nose. It's wired in the brain. You have no control over it. So become aware of it and start controlling your body language. The other thing is posture, how you stand. If you're in a very slouched position, that is a very poor posture. or if you're leaning forward, that is also. So always stand erect. I don't know if you remember, your grandparents might have told you when you were young, okay, the right posture is keep a few books on your head and walk. When you're walking with a few books on your head, you should be able to balance the books. And that is a fact, because the only way you can balance the books is if your posture is correct. Don't sway or move. If you're moving too much when you're talking, that again distracts the other person. So do not sway or move too much when you're talking. If you're meeting somebody, say for example, you're going to your supervisor's cabin, or you're meeting a customer in a diagnostic industry, you're meeting a customer. Don't start talking at the doorway. Enter the doorway, you can knock, enter, and walk towards your position where you're supposed to be standing near the chair, and only then you start talking. And take a pause. Take a pause, give the other person an opportunity to talk. Always don't be in a hurry to put your things forward. And if you're standing, do not place your hands on your waist. If you put one hand on your waist, or two hands on your waist, or on your hips, these are things which are a very, very poor body language. Culturally, that is not acceptable in a lot of cultures. Maybe in your culture, it could be, in the local culture, it could be, but most places it is not. So it is always important to be culturally neutral. Be aware of it and start practicing that. Become conscious about it. Make eye contact. Eye contact is a sign of confidence. Don't be looking at the floor, don't be look at the ceiling, don't look here and there. When you're talking to somebody, look at the person. But then, how much of looking is good and how much is bad? If you're looking continuously at the other person's eyes, it is called staring. So you should not be staring at the person. So roughly it has been found that about 70% of the time, if you are looking at the other person, it is comfortable. The person is comfortable between 60 to 70% of the time. If it is more than that, 80, 90% of the time you're looking, the other person becomes uncomfortable. And if you are looking less than 50% of the time of meeting the eyes, then it is considered that you are not very confident. So this is something you have to be aware of. When you are talking to a group, when you are in a meeting with a group, don't talk to only one person. Don't focus only on one person. Sweep the audience, look at all the people in the room and talk to each one of them and make them all feel involved when you're talking to them. Don't only focus on one person. This week covered. Again, rolling of your eyes again is a bad sign. It means that you are frustrated or exasperated or upset or irritated. So avoid doing that. You may not realize it, but you might be doing it. So be careful. Now, the other thing is about the type of eye contact in different types of conversation. So again, there is a rule for that. When you are in a business conversation, when you are in a professional business conversation, the area that you should look at when you're looking at talking to the other person is between their eyes and their forehead. So that triangular area, that is where you should focus on. Either look into their eyes or look slightly above. That is considered normal. In a social gaze means with your friends, with your family and friends, you can lower your gaze a little. You can be looking at the eyes, you can look at the nose, you can go up to the lips, not below that. Below that is again not right when it is just social friends. Now, if you have an intimate relationship with somebody with whom you are very close, or you know, intimate means people with whom you are extremely close, no issues, nothing, you're completely chilled out. With them, you can go all the way up and down. You can look at the shoes, you can look at the clothes. That is fine. But normally, you should not. These are the things. In a business gaze, don't go below the eyes. Yeah. So when you start talking to somebody, start with a serene. Serene means very calm, quiet, professional smile when you start a business meeting. Smile when appropriate and don't grin. What is the difference between smiling and grinning? Smiling is when the lips are stretched in a very pleasant way. They say that a smile should reach your eyes. So your eyes should also smile if it's a genuine smile. Otherwise, it comes across as a fake smile. Grinning means showing your teeth. So do not show your teeth. That is not considered very. It's excessive. So you shouldn't be doing that. Keep your facial expressions composed, calm, confident, and direct. When you are in a business talking, talk in a very calm way. Don't get very hyper. Don't get very excited. Don't get upset. Don't feel fearful. Just be calm and confident and talk directly. You are working, that person is working, both of you are doing your jobs. Yeah, and use your facial expressions, especially in a business relationship, convey seriousness and thoughtfulness. Don't be very flippant. Don't be joking around, fooling around excessively. For a few seconds, you do that to lighten the mood. If something is very serious and you crack a joke, that is fine. But otherwise, normally when you are talking about something important, it is important to look serious and be thoughtful. Yeah. So these are the different expressions. As you know, you can make out these are exaggerated expressions. But normally, when you meet other people, start watching. I would like you to do a small practice after this immediately. What we'll do is we'll break up into 2, 3 different groups, and each one of you practice. One person will tell the other what expression, and the third person has to read what are the expression, whether it's anger, whether it's disgust, whether it is joy, happiness, sorrow. Yeah. And we make it subtle. Don't be exaggerated. Just do a very subtle, slight change in your thinking. Just think happy thoughts. Think this thing without changing your facial expression. But still, you will be surprised that the other person can read your expressions. So we'll do this practice immediately after this. Yeah. Okay. So what is important is body language will improve only if it is regularly practiced. Consciously practice your body language. Do not, okay, I've learned, now it is okay. No, consciously for a few days, for they say it takes 21 days to form a habit. So for the next 21 days, for the next 3 weeks, consciously practice, become aware of your body language, and you'll realize that your whole personality is transformed. Avoid excessive hand movement or finger movement. Keep your body straight and balanced. Do not wiggle or move your body when you are speaking. Avoid sudden movements. Stand or sit proudly, erect, and still. Make eye contact. Look at the other person. Your audience means the other person the other people in the room with whom you're talking. So think about it after this session. What is your hidden language saying? This is something today you will become a little more aware of it. Start analyzing, look in front of a mirror, stand in front of a mirror and see what are the changes. Practice and you'll realize your body speaks a lot. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.